Hi guys, GameTalk Excelsior Ajax 1-4. PapiMento, we know how does it feel to win a game?
So great, actually. I'm smiling again. I'm so happy, and we're off the draw streak. So yeah, I'm so happy with the game today. Mostly because of the result, also because of the scoreline. But all in all, I'm happy with the changes moving forward, and I'm seeing a lot of new things, new possibilities, and the hope is back. Especially when you see that some competitors are losing points, So yeah, everything is still possible, and yeah, this coach made so many logical choices today that I'm like, yeah, I'm happy. Smart choices. This coach can take us. Let's hope he continues making these smart decisions in the coming games and gets the points. But yeah, and just talking about the Ajax, the players, I saw happiness, I saw smiles, I saw a game tactic they were standing behind. So yeah, a different Ajax than what we have seen before, and a lot of positives. Some things I want to discuss that are critical a little bit, but we can do that later on. Let's. I mean, Ajax started very well. If we just look at the game, high ball tempo, short combinations, I was really happy with that. And no more crosses. We had so many crosses, long balls before with Schreuder. And then he also with the formation, our coach, he surprised me putting Tadic on the 9, Kudus right wing. I mean, you could talk about some semantics that you disagree with certain players in certain positions, but it was logical and you could argue for it. So I was so happy for that. His substitutions were on point. Class is Mr. 1-0. He made that 1-0. So take him out.
He made the 2-1.
Yeah,
Actually,
but that was his goal, right? So
yeah.
yeah, Mr. One, yeah, but so he made the goal, and then he took him out because he saw also that it was going to be a little bit more counter-attack oriented gameplay because we were ahead in the game. So yeah, Kudus on 10 made sense. Conceição, bring him in to get more depth in the team. Keeping Bergwijn that played a full match, Kudus a full match. So all these things are very positive, Juan, and I'm very excited about it. Yeah, the semantics, we can argue Edson in the back. For me, I see him as a CDM. It just comes more natural to him. Not that he played bad, but you do see that he has difficulties against agile, fast attacker for the counter attack. And I think as a CDM, he could take out those counter attacks much more easily for us. So my option would be put Bassi next to Timber, because the build-up play is going to be from the midfield anyway. Move Edson to the front, and then Taylor and Berghuis on the midfield for the build-up. You could even argue putting Klaassen in for the goals, but we saw also if he doesn't score, the amount of touches on the midfield that he loses the ball or he gives a wrong pass, it really sets up on the back end, having to defend. So yeah, it was very good of him that he scored, and his directness in the box is always something to appreciate. But just for the overall team and getting better football on the midfield, I would bench him. So
Yeah.
I think I covered most of the things, but maybe you have some questions for me that we
Yeah,
can
I have a
dive
lot
into.
actually. I have a lot.
Yeah,
Let's
go
start at
for
the
it.
start. Let's start at the beginning. A lot can happen in a few days. Last time we spoke about the game Volendam. It was Ajax. He was fuming, and then we heard that Schreuder is gone. We didn't have a chance to have a live talk yet and discuss these things. This will happen this week, so people can tune in for that. We will have a lively discussion on that. We did have some discussions on the Twitter space late at night,
Yeah,
but
that was fun.
in general, we didn't know what to expect from Heidinga. In terms of what would he change compared to Schreuder. You already mentioned it, of course. You can talk about semantics, you said, but overall, it makes sense what he did.
Yeah, made sense. Wanting to play Tadic as a striker, I'm not opposing that, not at all. Bergwijn got a full match. I like his spell, his game tactics. With Schreuder, you saw, for instance, that we on the press, we wouldn't press on the opponent's half. We would fall back more. Not my kind of principle. The amount of balls we captured back on the opponent's half. That's something that makes me happy, but also helps Ajax in continuing the attack from there, and it makes it much more easier to create chances. It wasn't just blindly giving crosses from the back anymore, but short combinations, getting through in their pretty how do you say, crowded areas, but still that's the Ajax principle. That's how we wanted: short combinations, getting through, move off the ball. And I saw, I'm not going to say full 90 minutes that, but I saw glimpses of that during the game, in which that made me very happy. Things we have to work on, of course, is when you are 3-1 ahead, there are opportunities for counterattacks. And when you have Kudus, Conceição, Bergwijn with so much speed, I expect a much more deadly Ajax in the counterattack. So that's something for Heitinga to consider for next matches. But I love that he gave, he didn't take out Kudus again, the standard choices. No, he left Kudus on, played decent. I love how Kudus played. His goal was amazing. But when he went to 10, you saw also the control on the midfield and the easiness in his touches and the technical capabilities. Yeah, Ajax fan that wants to see that. And I thought he was magnificent today. I thought Ruli saved us countless times, because let's be honest, I'm happy because of the result. As a team, we have still a long way to go because of the counterattacks. Excelsior could have scored much more. Ruli kept us in the game. And that's something for Heitinga to really look and work on for the remaining of the season.
Yeah, I saw that you gave Ruli man of the match. So probably because of that, he actually kept us in the game and made it possible for us to, scrape our way through at the start.
And you saw that Edson was struggling with those long balls, and also that speedy guy on him, and that it's not his natural position. So Ruli kept us there in the game, and that made us.
Yeah, you say that Alvarez is not his natural position. Actually, he is natural. He is a defender. However, defense
not in the Ajax system.
In the Ajax system is different, because if you play a high line, like for instance, we played against Feyenoord. He played very good, but he was playing a little bit deeper, right?
Deeper, yeah,
closer to Ruli. So it's a bit different than when you play a high line. So that makes us vulnerable, and it will be interesting, because in a few weeks we'll play in Union Berlin, and they're a counter-attacking team as well. So it will be interesting to see whether we still play with Alvarez by that time, yes or no.
Yeah.
I want to move to something else, right? You said, let's see, this is hopeful. Let's see what Heitinga can bring us. Officially, it's not clear yet. It hasn't been announced that Heitinga will stay. We don't know for the next game, next week, what will happen. What's your opinion on this? Do you want a coach to be, do you want quickly to Ajax to appoint a new coach, or do you want things to stabilize a little bit? Heitinga, let Heitinga lead us a couple of games. Where do you stand? Because also still we don't have a technical director. Some people say and argue, you know what? Let's not make the same mistake and appoint a coach, and then a technical director will come, and then maybe it's not a click. It's the other way around. We should focus more on technical director. So leave Heitinga. Yeah. Where do you stand?
Look, for me, Heitinga has a clean slate, because if you're coaching young Ajax, you're mostly focusing on the development of the youngsters, right? So now he can make all the decisions. It's all about winning. It's all about setting the best team up. And he did that today. But look, for me, I would say let him sit, finish this season, and based on his results, you determine if you continue with him or not. But based on just today, it's a breath of fresh air compared to Schreuder. Just the choices, no more Kudus on the 9 position, finally on the wing or on the 10, which I think he's much better for. Just logical choices. I mean, the Edson, the Timber was already for a couple of weeks, but if you look at Wijndal, I really like what he did on the ball. Off the ball, there's still a lot to do. But there was football.
Did you like Wijndal's performance today? Did you?
It was decent. But I just expect more from Wijndal, because I have seen much better games at AZ from Wijndal. So he's not showing that kind of quality still at Ajax, and that's what I expect from him. So I'm always going to be critical when he plays below par. But we looked stable. We looked more stable on the ball, and we kept the ball longer in the team. And his passing is okay. It's good.
Yeah. Do you think now with, like we saw Feyenoord play 1-1 against Twente, Feyenoord will play PSV next week. This is a time for us to really jump in, close the gap, and make a run to the league title again, which we all thought at the start of the season we would be on top at this point, but things are going different. Do you think this might be the turning key, the turning point for us, or is it too early to tell?
No, that's too early to tell because I think the current games are the easiest games for us, and in the ending of the season, that will be the most difficult games. But it would be nice to have a streak going on. I think we can get very close to the number one, number two position if we continue winning these games and build up the confidence, because I think that's also lacking within the team. Become a better unit as a team, and I think now when players are going to be more used in their natural position. You're going to see the combinations between players coming again, and that could set us up for good motivation, high confidence for the big games that are coming. But Juan, to win the league, you have to also win the big games.